I think I said like in a few videos over time that I really wanted a girl first, and I didn't mention this to you guys, I don't think, but around 10 weeks or so, like pretty early on, I was like, no, it's a boy. Like I was 100% sure it was a boy. I told everyone I'm 90% sure it's a boy. I haven't seen it yet, but I just have like this feeling that it's a boy. And at first I kind of thought I was just like overcompensating for the fact that I really wanted a girl, and I was nervous that they'd tell me it was a boy and I'd be like, oh, gross. But honestly, I am so excited. And now that I know it's a boy, it's hard for me to imagine having a girl first, because this just makes sense to me. This is my baby, you know, this is my little boy, and I'm so excited about it. My ultrasound technician is incredible. She found out it was a boy really early, but we spent like 25 minutes in the freaking ultrasound room because she was trying to get me like a good picture. That's all she wanted. She was 100% sure it was a boy. She saw it, she was like, you know, but she wanted to get a good picture, and apparently my little boy is quite shy. So anyway, so we've decided to name him Patrick Jackson, but he'll go by Jackson. And there are so many people out there on YouTube, like Ellie and Kieran, who have a son named Jackson. We're spelling it differently. We're doing the Jaxon. And I'll tell you a little story about how we came about this name. Patrick is his first name, but he won't be called Patrick. My husband, his dad, and his grandfather all were named Patrick, but went by their middle name. So like you name them, their middle name is what you want to call them. And so I knew as soon as like I started dating Kelly that we would name our son Patrick, but he'd go by his middle name, whichever name we wanted. And the day I met Kelly, this is how we came up with the name Jackson. The day I met Kelly, I met him along with like two of my roommates who were also my really good friends. Somehow we met, and then he came over that night and we were all talking, and I think we got into this conversation because his name was Kelly, and that's kind of weird for a guy these days. I feel like back in the day people called their sons Kelly and it wasn't a big deal, but nowadays it's a girl name. And so I think that's how we got into the conversation, but we started talking about baby names. And Kelly came in and was like, I actually have a boy name. And I remember thinking, I always thought that guys just kind of like vetoed or agreed with the girls with their like wives or girlfriends' names, but he like actually had one picked out, and I was like, okay, well, what is it? And he told me it's Jackson, but spelled Jaxon. And he like explained to me that it makes sense with the spelling and like you can pronounce it properly. And I thought, that is sweet and I love it. And so like that day, he said that he had picked it out when he was like 15 and he loved it. He thought of it before it was super popular. It's a lot more popular now. But I had never heard of it at the time. This was April 2014, the day we met. And I remember sitting there thinking, that's awesome, I'm gonna name my son that. And that was it. And like, I didn't think that I was gonna marry this guy. So like, neither of us were attracted to each other. So I didn't think I was gonna marry this guy. But once we started dating, we knew we were gonna get married pretty early on in our dating. And so it was like never even a conversation. It was just kind of like, yes, we're naming our son Jackson, that's it. We came up with our girl name pretty early too. But Jackson was just kind of like, that was always going to be our son's name. So I promise I didn't steal it from anybody on YouTube, though everyone seems to be naming their son that lately, but it was an original thought. And yes, sneak peek was right. A few of you actually found me on Instagram and were like, oh, was the sneak peek test right? It was. They did get boy, and I was pretty confident that they were right because, again, I was pretty sure that it was a boy. So anyway, here's a tiny little update. I'm 17 weeks and 3 days, I'm pretty sure. I finally have a little bit of a belly. There's definitely something there. I think that if you don't know me and know that my stomach's relatively flat for the most part, you won't really realize that it's there because it's not like crazy obvious. But if you know me well enough and you see my body unpregnant, you'd be like, okay, she's definitely starting to show, which is kind of exciting. I mean, like, it's not uncomfortable or anything, and it's just nice to have it there, and so it's awesome. Next week, I'm flying to Canada and I'm having a baby shower super early. I'll only be like 18 and a half weeks, which is crazy, and I know people don't normally have it that early, but this was the best time for me to go to Canada. I haven't been home since I got married, and so it's just really nice. Actually, I've already gotten a few things off my registry, and I want to show you this. Okay. I feel like it's weird when I pick you guys up because I'm always just kind of sitting, but okay. It's a lot more yellow in here. So this is my mattress. This is my crib. I have a little like play mat down there. I have crib sheets. Somebody bought me my diaper bag. Somebody bought me one of the carriers. Like, I have so many things, and It's crazy. And the thing is, right now we live in a 1-bedroom. My husband just got accepted to the University of Utah, so in January we'll be moving to Salt Lake, and then we'll have a 2-bedroom. But for right now, we just have a 1-bedroom, and we knew that there was no point in getting a 2-bedroom because we're only going to be here until January, and we're not going to have the baby until March. And so we have just like these big boxes that we can't unpack or do anything with, though it's kind of convenient because then we don't have to like move them or like repackage them when we move. So like it's really nice. It's just really weird to have like these huge boxes of like these amazing things like a crib and stuff, and I have nowhere to put it. But anyway, that's it. I'm super excited about my little boy, and I'll show you my tiny little belly now, and then I'll see you next time. Bye. There's more than it looks.